presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
Well, after 10 days on the road, the Tigers are absolutely thrilled to be back home, and home is where they played their best baseball. 23 victories in Comerica this year, 7th most home wins in Major League Baseball. Hopefully more of the same home magic here this afternoon. Great day for baseball. Welcome to Comerica Park today. Game 1 featuring the Tigers and the Oakland Athletics. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Kirk Gibson, glad to have you with us. Game 1 in this 4-game series. Not going to be a long homestand, Gibby, but they're home nonetheless, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, it was a tough road trip. They started out with 3 wins in Chicago, didn't have good after that. You know, home, you have the bed, your comforts. There's no noise around. You don't lay around like you do on the road. You got your kids, your wife, your friends. That's all good. But what happens on the road is teams are built for their park, and the Cleveland team's built for that park. And the Tigers are built for this park as well with their defense and their good base running. So puts an added incentive for him today.
All right, now for the Tigers, Jose Iglesias, I'm sure he didn't want to see June come to an end because he's been outstanding this month.
He is. You know, here's a guy who really started slow this year. Of course, we had the weather problems earlier in the year. The rain was going, then it was cold, but he's really picked it up as of late. Really with the hitting, 315 in June. Really, a lot of it is attributed to the breaking ball, staying back. Fielding, he's always been a good fielder. He's now leading the American League in turning the double plays. And also, he's showing confidence in his stolen bases, stealing bases more on his own. You know, he had a conversation with Gardy when he was down in Texas a month ago or so. And those two really weren't on the same page going in, but when they came out, they have a much better understanding of each other, and he's really taken off with it, and he looks like he's going to play consistently the rest of the year.
All right, the A's in town for their only meeting of the season with the Tigers. Game 1 of the series just minutes away. After a short break, we'll go to the Coliseum Studios, check in with Mickey York. Today, Jordan Zimmerman shoots for his 3rd win of the year.
Baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be. Come to Comerica. And by Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. Hi, everybody. Mickey York with you back here in the Coliseum studio. Yes, Edwin Jackson and Jordan Zimmermann, your pitching combatants here this afternoon. Jackson making his season debut for the A's today, and when he steps on the mound, he'll tie a major league record by playing for his 13th big league team. As for Jordan Zimmermann, he's never lost to the Oakland A's. 1-0 in 2 career starts against Oakland. And he'll be backed up this afternoon by 2 of the newest American citizens, the latest on what's already been a big day for Leonis Martin and Jose Iglesias. Next on Fox Sports Detroit as the Tigers begin the first of a 4-game series with the A's.
The Tigers back home for a short 4-game homestand. The Athletics are in town. It'll be Jordan Zimmermann on the hill for the Tigers. He is presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Jordan 2-0, has been on the disabled list a couple times this year. This will be his second start after coming off the disabled list. Slider and curveball much better in his last outing, and he'll have to locate those to get through this Oakland A's lineup.
Here is the A's lineup. They come in 2 over the 500 mark under Bob Melvin, and they line up like this here this afternoon. Fowler, Joyce, and Lowry, your top 3. Chris Davis, the power hitter, will bat to cleanup and DH. Olson, Piscotty, and a bottom 3 of Semyon, Lucroy, and Barreto, the fine-looking prospect for the Athletics. Metro Detroit Chevy dealers presenting the lineup for the Athletics. Dustin Fowler will settle in on an overcast but beautiful day for baseball here in Detroit. And Jordan Zimmerman, his second start off the DL, going to work. First pitch of the ball game, fouled back out of play by Fowler. Dustin, a modest 4-game hitting streak, batting .248 on the season. Zim now with the 0-1 pitch. And Fowler looks at the ball high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike.
This Oakland A's team very aggressive, as you could see by Fowler getting on that first pitch, and the Tigers are going to have to make good quality pitches early in the counts.
1-2 on Fowler, and they are of course the A's managed by Bob Melvin, who has put together now a nice stretch with the Athletics. He's got his team playing a couple over the 500 mark at 40-38 coming in.
Notice they're attacking Fowler up top, just breaking ball down and in.
Yank foul.
There's Bo Mel right there. An old Tiger. Spent some time here with the Tigers. You know what his best hitting stat was against anybody?
I don't.
Randy Johnson. Raked
really?
Him. Only guy.
There's a high drive in the air toward right field. Castellanos cruising back. He'll have room. 1 gone.
Let's take a look at the Tigers starting defense. Out there in left field, Jacoby again, Leonis Martin in center, Nicholas Castellanos in right, Nico, Jose, Dixon, and John Hicks at first base, Grayson Griner behind the plate, Jordan Zimmerman on the mound.
You got me wondering now what Bob Melvin's secret was against Randy Johnson.
He just raked him. He's one of those guys. Not many people could, but we looked it up. You'd find out. I know this because I witnessed some of it, but he used to tell me about it all the time when I was his coach and bench coach down in Arizona. He's done a good job here at Oakland. You notice you were talking about 2 games over 500. I believe their payroll may be the least in the major leagues. So a pretty good job. They got a lot of young kids with a couple of veterans, Chris Davis and Jed Lowry.
Here's the 1-1 to the former Tiger, Matt Joyce. 2 balls and 1 strike. Interestingly enough, Joyce, a former Tiger, was traded for Edwin Jackson, who is on the hill today for the Athletics. Here's the 2-1. Bob Melvin, 452 against Randy Johnson. I would say that's pretty good.
Not bad. He's a good catcher. Sparky really was tough on him.
Full count on 3-2 on Joyce. Well, he's got his team playing pretty good baseball, considering the fact they're 29th in payroll in all of baseball. Only the White Sox have a lower payroll. Now Zim with the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Joyce is down, 2 gone. First strikeout of the day for Jordan Zimmerman. A little bit of a breeze blowing today. 73 degrees our game time temperature.
It's nice and sunny when we got up this morning. A little bit of an overcast right now. Flowers got their added nutrients that they needed. You check that out?
No.
I didn't think so.
I didn't check my flowers today. Sorry.
Got to take care of them.
I know it. You know, I'm one of those guys that once they're planted, figure they're going to last forever.
Just turn the sprinklers on. That's it.
Yeah, that's all you got to do.
Got to feed them.
It'll rain every now and then. It'll get their water. The 1-0 is swung on and missed.
So if you just had a drink of water every time it rained, you think you'd look good?
I knew you'd get me somehow, some way. Probably not. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Here's a strike called 1-2. Zim had the 4 perfect innings in his last start. First one off the DL, that was against Chicago, and then it kind of blew up in the 5th. Little chopper foul, first base side.
A lot of sliders and breaking pitches so far early in this game from Zim. Pretty good ones. You just worry when you get down the road later in the innings, you don't want to hang one. But so far, nice and sharp, good control over both.
High and away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just underway here at Comerica, short 4-game homestand for the Tigers. Little chopper to the right side, fielded there by Hicks. Sim covers for the out, and a nice 1-2-3 first inning. The first scoreless game so far, and the Tigers will send this lineup out against Edwin Jackson, presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Candelario getting the day off today. It's going to be Martin, Goodrum, and Castellanos as your top 3. V-Mart the DH, then Hicks and Jones. Bottom 3 of Grayson Griner catching. Iglesias and Dixon Machado. And MGM Grand Detroit presents Edwin Jackson.
Well, Edwin was with the Nationals this year, asked for his release and got it. It's been in the minor leagues, and this is in the minors, 13 starts. Of course, he's been around many years and with many teams, and he's got a golden arm, still got good velocity, good slider.
And his first one is in there for a strike on Leonis Martin.
And we didn't do pick the stick today because we ran out of time, but this is my guy.
Martin?
Yep. Want him up there early so we can get lots of action. I think this slider down and in is going to play well to Leonis, raking Edwin Jackson.
Jackson, now 34 years old, was born in Germany. And Gibby touched on the fact that he's played with a ton of different teams. 13 now for Jackson. There's a foul ball to run the count to 1-2. When he was here in Detroit, he was well liked. And he was a very good pitcher for one season here. He made an all-star team with the Tigers. And Edwin just keeps rolling along. The 1-2. Darting low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Martin. Here's that all-star year that he spent in Detroit, a 3.62 ERA.
He's got a great arm. You said he's got a great personality, great teammate, and still has the health to come out and compete.
Chop to the first baseman, gloved by Olson, and Martinez out, 1 gone.
Let's take a look at the A's starting defense, left to right in the outfield. Matt Joyce, Dustin Fowler, and Stefan Piscotty. Jed Lowry at third, Matt Olson at first, and Simeon and Barreto at second base. Jonathan Lucroy, a very good catcher, good veteran catcher, just catching Edwin Jackson. Barreto. Did I get it right yet on the last one?
Barreto. Yeah, close enough. There's a ball low to Nico Goodrum. Candelario getting the day off today. Ron Gardenhire saying he has wanted for a while now to give Candy a day off, and today is the day. He's been scuffling at the plate. Big swing there by Goodrum.
Yeah, they were down there in that head-to-head series with Cleveland. It's pretty hard to give anybody a day off. You got to go with your best, tired or not. And Candy is tired. He's played a lot of games. Probably not used to it, and he's had more responsibility here with the Tigers. I think the Tiger team, really as a whole, there's probably some guys that are struggling with the amount of games they played, and the schedule has not been consistent. They've had sat around for rain delays, then played games, had rain outs, and come back to have to play doubleheaders. So it all adds up at some point in the season, and Gardy's trying to address that and get everybody freshened up.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, they played, what, 5 doubleheaders this year, and who knows how many they'll play the rest of the year if they get any rainouts. But the schedule has been really tough on this team. It is for every club. That is not to make an excuse, but the Tigers in a stretch now of 20 straight, and many of them on the road.
Well, that's the maximum allowed by the collective bargaining agreement, 20.
Goodrum down on strikes, 2 gone. By the way, if the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the Tiger Box to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get a free small order of curly fries. Here's Castellanos. Nicholas at 303 checking into play today. Nick had 8 hits on the road trip. Bit of an up and down trip. A really up and down trip for the team. They won 3 in Chicago, swept the White Sox. They were feeling really good. They had an off day in Cincy and then dropped 2 there.
You know, the off days they're good, they're necessary, but sometimes you come back the next day a little bit tired, a little bit sluggish.
High drive to right field. The ballpark will eat this one up though. Piscotti will make the play to retire the side. 1, 2, 3, go the Tigers. Scoreless game as we go to the top of the second here at Comerica Park, and Chris Davis will lead things off for the A's. Brings us to the Bernstein advantage, where he has had a difficult time against Zimmerman. 1 for 12. 4 strikeouts against him.
And Chris Davis got a lot of socks, so that's a guy you want to control if you're Zim, as he has throughout his career so far.
The A's as a team hit a lot of home runs. That's just what they do. And this guy right here with 20 of them, Chris Davis. 2 balls, no strikes.
If you watch him, his front foot, he like bails, but he keeps his bat in the zone. You won't see many guys with the mechanics that he has. If you watch this front foot, he bails open.
Hit that one a mile high straight up to shallow center field. Machado will hold it in.
Oh, if he was sprinted, he'd been on third base. That's high, huh?
Took forever. 4 straight retired now by Zimmerman to start the game. That'll bring up Matt Olson. Olson has power as well. 17 home runs. There without Matt Chapman, their third baseman, and he is a fabulous player. He's on the DL right now with a hand injury, so he will not play in this series. Olson has knocked in 40 as he waves and misses 0-2.
6'5", about 240 is Olson. Big shift on him. Everybody's snuggled over there on the right side. Give that umpire a glove in case it comes at him too, okay?
Ted Baird doesn't need a glove. He's a big guy.
But interesting setup in Olson, and looking forward to watching him today. I've watched some games and some highlights. Starts with that bat really low, but you'll watch him, he'll lift it, try to get above that ball. It's a high zone. But he's got some levers. He's hit some long ones. You can see Zim trying to keep it down and away. Ran that one little two-seamer, hoping he would offer.
Ripped to right field, but foul. Here's the umpiring crew for today's game. Will Little behind the plate. Ted Barrett is your crew chief at first. There's Big Ted.
Isn't he a boxer, as rumor goes?
Yeah. You don't want to mess with him.
He always has great control of his games. He's the crew chief.
Well, now he's gone 3-2 on Matt Olson, enjoying a 6-game hitting streak right now for the A's. Foul back out of play. Stephen Piscotty waiting on deck.
Ex-Cardinal.
Good to see the kids back out at the ballpark as summer really kicks into gear now. And there's a walk, and Zim can't believe it. His body language showed that he's upset with that. 1 out base runner, and stay tuned to Tigers Live following the game, where we will select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers player of the game, presented by McDonald's. Here is Stephen Piscotty. .249 batting average on the year for Piscotty. Little chopper right back to the mound. Zim looked at second, goes to first. Runner advancing with 2 outs.
Well, let's take a look from behind the plate. Zim got off the end of the bat, took a peek, smartly took us out. Now, if you throw that ball to second and you're not totally ready to do it, and you don't believe that you're going to get him, it's much smarter to take her out. Now, you might give him 1 run on a base hit here, but if you throw it away, you could have given him 2.
I thought originally he might have time at second, but looking at that replay, he clearly made the wise choice. A little pop up towards second base, and Machado hauls it in. Semien is out, so are the A's. 22nd. Edwin Jackson making the start today for the A's, and he has made the rounds in his career.
Well, 13 of them. Your Tigers, D-backs, White Sox. He's been there a couple times. Cardinals. What do you think his favorite was?
Oh, Detroit for sure.
Yeah.
All-Star here this when he was here, and that was back in '09. So it's got to be one of his favorite places. Nice job there by Vmart, spraying the ball to left field. The Tigers had the leadoff man on.
Yeah, took it to the left, away from the shift. Very smart.
First hit of the ball game.
Ball's away. Vmart just takes it that way. And many times people wonder why more hitters don't do this, because many feel that you're taking, say, me out of my strength. If you hit the ball out of the park, you're a pull hitter, but leading off an inning, you get on there, that's a very smart play.
John Hicks now, who is at first base for the Tigers, he'll stand in. Showing bunt, he pops one up and it's going to drop. Jackson kicks it, everybody is safe. Well, that looked like it wasn't going to work out at all, and all of a sudden there are 2 on, nobody out.
Yeah, it looked like Edwin, he's a great athlete. Looked like he was going to come off and catch that ball, but doesn't get there. Hicks, he run it on the line. Victor's running hard. Doesn't get a favorable hop. Got first and second, nobody out. They got to take advantage of this. That's hard. The ball stayed down towards the advantage of the Tigers. Good result.
Here is Jacoby Jones.
Good bunt again. Possible.
Jacoby has that ability. Certainly has the speed to make it interesting too. And a line drive to left field, sinking, caught. Hard hit ball. Joyce came on a couple of steps to haul it in.
This is a really good read by Victor Martinez, because this ball looks like it's going to drop in when it's first hit. Watch Victor right here. He's going to read this. Looks like he's going to go. Retreats. And that's like almost a shoestring catch. Very good. Tigers still have first and second. 2 outs. That's a good example of what you want to do with nobody out if you're on second base and you're a youngster. Got to make the right play. Victor did.
Here is Grayson Griner. That'll get away and go to the backstop. Off the glove of the catcher Lucroy. Move 2 into scoring position. It's going to be a pass ball here.
Yeah, look, he yanked it. Look, he was crossed up. Vmart. Feeling fresh. Vmart today. So the A's really a pretty good defensive team. A couple mistakes here give the Tigers an opportunity, and they got the infield in to try and cut Victor down at home.
Griner looks at a ball inside, now 2-0. The play on Hicks, by the way, was ruled a sacrifice E1 on the ball that was knocked away by Jackson, and that one is a pass ball. They're in a couple of steps all the way around with 2-0 the count on Griner. 2-1.
You get in these situations as a hitter, you're going to pretty much can count on seeing some breaking balls. More and more teams are doing that. Tigers just came off a series with Cleveland. They spin the ball very well and did it.
In there, a strike call, 2-2. Griner did not agree.
And he's getting it from the bullpen. Look at her from the dugout.
Will Little behind the dish. And Little now giving it back to the Tiger bench. Gardy not happy with that last call.
Well, he's yelling because the players were voicing early, and Gardy wants to pick up the pace there so the players are safe in case you need them in later in the game. a bad call.
Swing and a miss. Griner is out. 2 gone.
This is the pitch they were upset about. It looked like it really ran. You can see the catcher pulling it back towards the strike zone. Here's the strike pitch. Now you're thinking that's the same pitch. He throws the slider, it goes the other way. Little last cackle there. That's frustrating. It happens.
Here's Iglesias now. It'll take a 2-out knock here from Jose. Infield back for the A's. Almost hit him.
Well, we had Iggy on in the open. He's swinging the bat way better here in June. In fact, on the year now, 308 with runners in scoring position. So we got a good opportunity here to get a couple of runs in.
Jackson's 1-0. High fly ball toward left field, going toward the corner. On the move,
Go.
Joyce still going back, and Joyce at the wall makes the catch. Almost. The Tigers will strand 2. Well, yesterday the San Diego Padres had to think fast when their team bus didn't show up. We'll show you how they got to the ballpark after this.
Mickey York with a game break brought to you by Dodge. You know, yesterday the San Diego Padres gathered to get on the team bus and head to AT&T Park in San Francisco for their series finale with the Giants, but there was a problem. The bus didn't show, so they had to think fast, and they chartered a double-decker tour bus and had a nice leisurely drive through town to the park instead. Mario, Gibby, that's not exactly roughing it, but I got to tell you this. Tigers traveling secretary Brian Britton would never allow such a thing to happen.
No, absolutely not. But you know what? I've been on those double deckers. It's not a bad ride.
No, and you'll learn a little something about the city, get to see some of the sights. Yeah.
Absolutely. How about you, Gibby? How would you have reacted as a player if you had to take a double decker to the ballpark? I'm interested to know.
Just as calmly as you can imagine. You know, we had a couple of those mix-ups along the way, and I believe Willie Horton and the 68 team, or the late 60s team, we could ask Hal Kaline as well. They had one, I believe they were coming through Harlem and they had a bus problem. I think they all got on the subway and made it the rest of the way. So sometimes you have to adjust and be nice and calm about it, like I would.
There's a little looper into right field. Castellanos will back off and play it on one hop. Lucroy has the A's first hit.
Lucroy's got that good stroke out that way. Really respect that guy. He's really made himself a good player. Got a leadoff knock for the A's.
That is the first Oakland hit of the afternoon, and now Franklin Barreto will step in.
This guy had a game last week, didn't he?
Yeah, a couple of homers.
3-run Johnsons. 2 of them in a game. 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, and a nice double play here.
You went with Johnson as the descriptive word there. Why not Smith's?
Well, it could
Or
have been
Jones's.
the Joneses, yeah. Just want to spread it out, spread the love around, right?
That's a good idea. Barreto has hit safely in 5 of 6. Swing and a miss.
A good slider. He's also throwing some changeups that are look like breaking pitches. See around the side right there. Slide piece.
Jordan's thrown a lot more of those this year. His slider usage is way up. 33% this year.
Be nice if you could stop the arm like that if you're a hitter. See with the grip that they had. And some you can actually, because of the way they change their motion so much from pitch to pitch.
Lowest fastball usage of his career this year and the highest slider usage. Who had the best slider you saw when you played?
Ron Guidry.
Oh yeah,
was one of them. Steve Carlton had a pretty good one. And from the Luis Leal from Toronto.
Toward left field, hooking, and that will go foul. Broke his bat as well.
J.R. Richards.
Oh yeah.
That's from the other side, about 93 or so, 93 miles an hour. Some fans in their nice new Detroit whites. The Tiger D.
Well, he has thrown Barreto 4 straight sliders.
You can sneak one in on him.
They're the home whites right there.
I think I may need to take a little trip there with some. Oh, that ball carry.
Not deep enough though. Castellanos edge of the track. One gone. Tigers host the Rangers Saturday, July 7th at 4:10. The first 10,000 fans receive a Willie Horton 1968 50th anniversary bobblehead courtesy of Dunkin' Donuts. If you'd like tickets, call 866-66-TIGER. Go to tigers.com. Here's Willie's statue. There's a strike called on Dustin Fowler. He flied to right field to start the ball game.
Good to keep an eye on LaCroix. He doesn't run as much as he used to, but he's sneaky. He knows if you're not paying attention to him, he's going to take it on you.
Here's the 0-1 to Fowler. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Fowler acquired in the Sonny Gray deal from the New York Yankees. He was highly thought of with the Yanks. In his major league debut, he ruptured his patella tendon and never really got an at bat or played in the game. In his first game, he did it early. Ball hammered to right field. Castellanos going back, looks up off the wall. Lucroy is on his way to third, and that's going to be a long single for Dustin Fowler.
Good job by Nick getting this in. First at bat, Fowler was featured a lot of breaking pitches. There's one right there. Probably hangs a little bit, and he gets it over Nick's head. But he played this well, got it in quickly to keep the double play in order. See, LaCroix knows it's over his head, and he's on his way without hesitation.
That was a good example right there of a play that Ron Gardenhire was talking about concerning Castellanos just the other day in Cleveland.
Yeah, if you go after the ball and get yourself too close to the wall, you overrun it, you could spy you. Did a good job of playing that perfectly.
Absolutely. Said that Nick sometimes has to realize you can't catch every ball. You can't make every play, even though you want to do it for your pitcher. And there are times when you're better served playing the carom, and in this spot, holding the runner to first base.
Need to get a ground ball here from Matt Joyce. This is a guy, when he hits the ball on the ground, is not good for him, good for us.
Runner goes. Ball high. Grinders throw the tag in time. They got him. Fowler is called out. The A's, I'm sure, will look at this. Fowler not going anywhere. He thought he had it swiped.
Yeah, the tag's on the leg. Yeah, they're calling him right off, I believe. Good quick throw by Grinder right there in the leg. Zim did a good job of not letting him get too big of a jump. And I believe this will show it right here. He's out.
Yep. Big play, 2 gone now. Joyce with a 2-0 count. Awkward swing. Fowler caught for the 3rd time this year. Nice throw by Griner. Now Zim throwing from the windup. 3-1.
Look at this one for 44 on ground balls and played this season. Actually, the hit came on the first ground ball of this season. So he's in an 0 for 44 since then.
That ball not on the ground. It's in the air toward right center field. Martinez on the run, still going. He'll track it down. Ballpark ate that one up. Joyce retired, and the A's will strand a man. Menards brings you the big money encounter. Edwin Jackson had a fond memory, I'm sure. And Gibby, you were there for this.
I was. 149 pitches. I think he had about 6 or 7 walks. Do you leave him in? He's at 120. He's at 130. We did leave him in. He threw the no-no.
Jackson's no-hitter. 8-walk no-hitter, which is something you don't normally see. Here's a show of bunt taken high by Dixon Machado. Haven't really seen Dixon bunt a whole lot. Starting things off here in the 3rd. Tigers had a chance to score, but left a couple in the 2nd, and there's a check swing strike. That'll back him out of there. 2 balls and 1 strike on Machado, who after a pretty good start this year, hit a lot of doubles in the month of April, has slowed. His average coming in 208. And it was getting to the point, Gibby, where Dixon was so pull happy the teams are actually shifting on Machado, and they have tried to get him to go up the middle and the other way a little bit more.
Yeah, and he's done that. He's bought into that. He's not a power hitter. They shouldn't be able to do that. He should be able to handle the bat. And he's in the number 9 position. Should be able to get somebody moving on the bases, and he should be able to cover him.
Jackson has gone 3-2 against him. Two for 11 on the road trip for Machado. He is out at second base today, batting 9th. Just got a piece of it. Martin will follow, and then Nico Goodrum here in the 3rd. It's the first of 4 between these 2 squads. Tigers got a leadoff single from Vmart in the 2nd. They had 2 on, nobody out, but couldn't score. Jackson shut him down in the 2nd, and that is pulled. That ball was up and in, and somehow Machado got a piece of it. Talked about all the teams that Jackson has played for. He is 34 years of age, was born in Germany. Began his career with the Dodgers. Pulled again, foul.
Edwin was my starting pitcher my first game as manager.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think he went like 5 innings, gave up 4 or 5 runs. We won at 12-5. I was thinking, man, this is easy, but it's not.
Huh. Here's the 9th pitch coming up in this at bat, and again rolled foul. So I assume you still have the scorecard from your first win as a manager.
I do. Yep.
Did you sign your own scorecard, like autograph your own scorecard?
I did every game.
Well, that's true.
The
You
manager has to do that.
Yeah, I forgot about that. 3-2. And he got him. Strike 3. Machado is caught looking, 1 away. And with more on the long and winding road of Edwin Jackson, here's Matt Shepard.
Mario, thanks. That story from Kirk Gibson, pretty cool, right? And we remember Edwin Jackson as an all-star in 2009 when he had a career high in innings pitched and a number of other categories, but this is his 13th team, so 12 other Major League Baseball cities remember him in their uniform too. That means 13 teams in 15 years. That ties Octavio Dotel for most by a single player. And to Gibby's point, I talked to Bob Melvin about Edwin Jackson before the game. He said, great clubhouse guy, perfect for a lot of his younger pitchers, and as Gibby mentioned, an innings eater. And with the amount of injuries they're experiencing right now and their pitching staff, fellas, they need someone to chew up some innings, don't they?
Yeah, Shep, they've lost like 6 or 7 starting pitchers, and this is what Edwin's paid to do. He's coming in and going to give him some good innings. Well, however, we're going to try and jump him here.
Well, the A's have used 12 different starting pitchers this year, 12 of them. But Jackson has made over 30 starts in 7 of his major league seasons, which goes to Shep's point about eating up some innings, which Jackson has done. The 0-1 to Martin is low, 1 ball and 1 strike. That might be a Reggie Jackson jersey there.
I would agree.
Guessing. It's popped up left side of the infield, and it's going to be caught there by the shortstop Semien. 2 away. Fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app, take Fox Sports Detroit and Tigers baseball with you wherever you go. Made available by Oakland University. Here is Nico Goodrum.
Nico fanned in the first inning.
Well, he's aggressive, I tell you. Really lets it fly.
Here's another big swing by Nico. I don't think I've ever seen him cheated out of a swing this year.
No, that's why Edwin's giving him those sliders. You see, they're just cutting underneath his hands.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss. He dusted him on 3 pitches. 4 strikeouts for Jackson. Well, when we come back, we'll chat with the Tigers' #1 overall pick. Casey Mize was signed today. You're watching Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. A scoreless ball game. Tigers and Athletics doing battle here in game 1 of the series, and a special day at the ballpark today, not only because the Tigers are back home off the road trip, but Casey Mize, the Tigers' #1 selection overall in the country, actually, was signed today by the Tigers. Casey, welcome to the Motor City. First of all, I know it's been kind of a whirlwind for you last couple of weeks, but your first thoughts about coming to Detroit and signing with the Tigers?
Yeah, well, I'm very excited. It's something I've been looking forward to for the past couple of weeks since our season's been over. So, you know, just getting to the city and just seeing everything has been really awesome. Especially showing up to the park today was really cool.
Your first impressions of Comerica, what do you think?
I love it. It's a big ballpark, pitcher friendly, so I like that. You know, I looked down, I saw 345 in left field, and you know, I smiled when I saw that. So that's awesome. You know, but the stadium, it just looks comfortable. Like there's not a bad seat in the house. You know what I mean? I feel like it's just a you know, good fan base. You know, with a lot of tradition, and it's really cool.
So did they tell you when you start next week?
Not yet. Not yet. No,
I mean, you had a great year this year, and you're now a pro. Can you envision yourself out here on the mound for a World Series?
Well, I think that's the goal. So yes, I think so, and I think that's what I'm going to continue to strive for, and keep working at. So you know, hopefully it comes to that, and I'm going to do everything in my power for that to happen.
Casey, we saw the video of you when you were drafted on draft day. The selection was announced. You went #1 overall, and there was a lot of emotion. What was that day like for you?
Yeah, so we spent most of the day in a vehicle. We were in the car for 8 hours on a ride home from Raleigh, North Carolina, because that's where we played in the regional. And so when we got back, I had a couple hours. You know, ate some lunch, got ready, and then went to the draft. You know, had all my teammates and a lot of family and friends around me. So it was really cool. It was really great, and everything worked out perfect. And it was great to have those people around me.
When you've got a 4-pitch mix, was that
Yes,
what
sir.
you would call? And when you watch the big league pitchers, I'm sure you watched a lot of games. Do you feel like what pitch is if you rated your pitches from best to worst, I mean, where you need the most work on?
Yeah, so I think the best pitch is the split change. I think it's kind of my out pitch. It's just really a splitter with a hard action to it, but I call it a split change. It really dives and mirrors the two-seam fastball well, and I think the pitch after that is the cut fastball, which I added this year actually, and it really plays well in hitters' counts. I think they're sitting fastball, and I can throw the cut fastball and just miss some barrel a little bit.
And those go both opposite ways basically. The split change.
Yep. Yeah. The split change goes arm side, and the cutter goes glove side. And then I'd say my fastball after that. I have the ability to command it pretty well, and so I try to use the fastball when I can. And then the slider I would rate as the fourth pitch. I think it's just kind of it's a good pitch, but I think it's more of just a show me pitch. Get them off their timing a little bit, something I can drop in there earlier for a strike.
Ball fly down the left field line, and cruising over is Jacoby Jones to make the play. Casey Mize, stick around another half inning.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll talk more with Casey Mize when we come back in a scoreless game. As we go to the bottom of the fourth inning here at Comerica Park, Tigers and the A's, Mario and Pemba, Kirk Gibson and Casey Mize, the #1 overall selection in this year's June amateur draft, inked a contract with the Tigers today. And Casey, I know that you were talking earlier about some of the adjustments you anticipate getting into professional baseball. Obviously, you played at a high level at Auburn, but pro baseball is another animal, I guess. And talk about some of the adjustments you feel you'll have to make.
Well, I think the first thing is going to a 5-day rotation, and I think in college you have 7 days before your next start, and so I think that'll be an adjustment. I'll have to be able to recover quicker and mix up my routine a little bit, and so I think that'll be an adjustment. And then you're just the Southeastern Conference is a great conference. I think it's the best conference in America. Great competition, but I think when you go to professional baseball, it obviously takes a step forward, and so I think it's just going to be an adjustment to learn how to get those hitters out, and I think I'm going to have to do it in different ways than I did in college, and it's going to take some time to figure that out, but as quickly as I can do that, I'm hoping that goes by fast.
I was reading an article, and you said you set a goal at a young age, I believe, to become a major league pitcher, and there had to be some things you had to fight through. Would you care to share any of those? Do you remember the toughest times?
Yeah, I think, like I said, coming to Auburn and then learning how to pitch against better competition was tough for me as a freshman. You've been really good in travel ball in high school, right, and you're getting a lot of those guys out. And then you come into the Southeastern Conference, and I gave up 6 runs in 2 innings in my first start. And so I think just the failure, failure became kind of repetitive, and that was a tough time. And so, I didn't let it beat me up, but I knew I just wanted to learn from it and grow from it. And so that was a pretty tough time. And then last year, I had a little bit of injury stuff that I was kind of back and forth with, and so that was tough as well.
John Hicks flares one to center field, going to drop, base hit. That'll score a run. Hicks will get an RBI as Castellano scores, and the Tigers grab a 1-0 lead. RBI 24 for John Hicks.
So you're talking about times when maybe the game, things you get uncomfortable, things speed up a little bit. So you're Edwin Jackson, you give up the double, they got him over, they got him in, now you got a guy in first. What kind of things have you learned to kind of slow the game down in these situations?
Yeah, you just got to refocus. Personally, for me, I have three keys that I tell myself to kind of refocus and gain confidence again, and those are, I command the baseball very well. I have my split change is one of the best pitches in college baseball, is what I thought to myself, and that I prepare better than anybody else in the field. And so those are three things that I told myself whenever I got into something like this, just kind of refocus and limit the damage in an inning.
Casey, you threw a no-hitter this year against Northeastern. Obviously, it doesn't matter what level you do that at, but that had to be one of your highlights of your college career.
Yeah, it was. That was a special night for not only me but the whole team. Obviously, a lot goes into a no-hitter. My left fielder made a great play, and my third baseman did as well. The catcher behind the plate called a great game, because in college we called our own game. We didn't have the coach do it for us. And so there was a lot of things that went into it. My offense provided a lot of run support. I think we scored 6 runs that game. We won 6-0. So, I think it was more of a team thing, but for me it was obviously special. It was just one of those nights where everything was working, and it was just a lot of fun.
And then probably another one of your big moments this year, you beat Vandy. What is a 15 strikeout
15,
performance? They're
yes,
a pretty
sir.
good ball club. They've had some success with their players, haven't they?
Yeah, they're a great program. I know I got some buddies there, and I know Coach Corbin does a great job there, and he puts out great players. And so, that was another one of those nights that went really well, except for my buddy had a home run off Levy that game. That's the only run I gave up. But that was a good night.
All right, you talked about your split change, and that's a pitch that I think everybody talked about, and we've got some footage of your no-hitter. That was on March 9th. But the split change, tell me about that. Where did you learn that pitch? Who taught that to you? Or was it self-taught, or how did that pitch come about?
I started throwing that a little bit in high school, and I think it was just me and my dad playing catch in the driveway. I think that's where it came from.
Really?
I kind of lost feel for the circle change a little bit. And so we just started playing around with a lot of grips, and that's just something that I just grabbed, and it felt right. And I threw it a little bit in high school. I readjusted the grip when I got to college a little bit, and I started throwing a lot more in college, and it became a pretty good pitch for me.
Tigers have grabbed the lead here as we chat with Casey Mize, who is the Tigers' #1 overall selection this year in the June amateur draft. He signed a contract today with the Tigers. He'll be reporting to the Tigers system, and hopefully, get to the big leagues as soon as he can. That's always, I think, the wish of guys that are drafted as high as you, Casey. But was there anybody you patterned your game after as a kid? Were there any pitchers? Did you like certain players? I mean, who did you pattern yourself after?
I don't think I patterned myself after anyone. Obviously I enjoyed, a really good pitcher going out there and just dominating a game. That was a lot of fun for me to watch. But growing up, I played infield too, and so somebody that I really looked forward to watching was Derek Jeter, and like a lot of people. I just think that guy was such a leader and a good player, and so I enjoyed watching him. But there was really not a pitcher that I modeled my game after, modeled my mechanics after.
Well, Casey, we appreciate you stopping up. Best of luck to you. I know it's an exciting day for you. We look forward to seeing you up here soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Look forward to watching you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Tigers have a 1-0 lead as we go to the top of the 5th inning here at the ballpark. Time now for Lowe's whole team together. This is an A's team that likes to swing it and hit home runs. And when you look at the most consecutive road games with a homer, the A's now have that record by themselves.
Tigers trying to break that record today, keep them off the board, but they do swing it and they go for it. That's pretty impressive, huh? It's been around for a while.
The Orioles had the previous record, 1996 Orioles at 24 straight. Steven Piscotty will lead things off, and once again our thanks to Casey Mize, who appears to be a great young kid, and look forward to watching him climb the ladder in the Tiger system. There's a looping single off the bat of Piscotty, and the leadoff man is on.
I was impressed.
Really impressed.
Casey Mize. He's very well rounded. He's obviously has a good start with his physicality. He's tall. He's got nice long levers. I think the Tigers have projected in him as well where that's going to go, and his knowledge of his pitches and how to use them, etc. I feel like he's studious and will understand the adjustments he's got to make.
Very impressive, and as he said, there will be adjustments, obviously coming from the college game to the pro ranks, but he's got all the goods, that's for sure. Marcus Semien, the batter. Tigers grab the lead in the bottom of the 4th on the RBI hit by Hicks. Zim surrendered a couple of singles in the 3rd, but caught a runner trying to steal, which helped him out. And now Semien after the leadoff base hit here in the 5th. Foul down the right field line.
And I don't think Bob Melvin will try anything here.
Well, Semien popped up in his only at bat. Played only 85 games last year with a DL stint. Fouled away again.
Well, Bob Melvin, he's really worries about me looking at his sign, so we're going to give him a little time right here. Look at, he's got all these little things. The elbow on the thing, that could be something. Him chewing his gum like that or blowing a bubble, that could be a sign. He says I can never catch him if we look in right here.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think that he'd do anything because he's been thrown out once today. I know he didn't like that.
Yeah, that was Fowler trying to steal in the 3rd, and Griner cut him down.
See how quick he did that? We barely caught him. Hand to the nose is nothing.
2-2 is fouled back out of play.
He gets on him right away. And that's going to Matt Williams down there at 3rd base. We were all together in Arizona, and Matt Williams was a great player. He's a beast. This guy can run, works out.
Quite a player.
Big time player.
I always wondered about giving signs. Do you actually practice them in front of a mirror?
When you first start, you do, or if you get new ones. Sometimes in front of a crowd.
2-2. Swing and a miss.
Nice.
No, foul ball, they're calling it. Griner saying I caught that ball, and home plate umpire Will Little said it hit the ground.
Well, they're going to take a look at it. I think Gardy's going to come out and ask him about it. I don't know if that's reviewable. We got that little sheet over it. I don't know if they turn that over.
Didn't appear he made contact.
They could look at the ball. It'd be real easy. You could tell if it hit the ground or not. Well, Gardy seems to be really animated today. We had an earlier. He's going to ask the rest of the crew to come in to discuss.
Ted Barrett from first base is the crew chief. He'll come running in with the rest of them. Here's the side view. Is this any more clear? Not really. I just don't see that hitting ground. But the call will stand. Foul ball.
Gonna find out.
Semyon's still alive. All that, he got called looking. Strike three. One gone.
It's on the side there, another slider. Look at Griner pull it back. Good job. Simo down there, did you get a look at that?
I did, guys. It's a nice pitch there. A nice slider there by Jordan Zimmerman. Good call, too. I thought it was down at the knees, well located.
Now Beaumont may hit run here with LaCroix.
And Lucroy looks at a strike. What do you got on Zim so far, Simo, today?
He's looking real good, guys. He's got good fastball command to both sides of the plate. Seems like he's not afraid to go inside, which I think is important. And then again, his wipeout pitch or his go-to pitch is that slider, and it's working well for him so far.
Lucroy looks at the ball outside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Guys, I was listening to you guys talk to Casey Mize, and what a polished young man.
Yeah, what did you think?
Oh, I loved everything about what he was talking about. He's very confident, believes in his pitches. He said, yeah, there'll be some adjustments, but this young man has the mental makeup that it takes to be really good.
Which brings up a really good point. You know, when you talk about the #1 overall pick, whether it's #1 overall or your first-round pick, you've got to make certain that the guy you are drafting not only can do it on the field, but there's a part of the mental makeup, I think, as well, how he carries himself that goes into that whole decision making.
Oh, I think it's very important. And just listening to him talk, he sounds like, again, very polished. He understands the game, not afraid to make adjustments, admits when he, needs to be better, and he accepts that challenge. And I think that's important, Mario.
Seems like he's got an open mind going in on some things already that he knows he's going to have to do better at. He realizes that every 5th day, Simo.
It's a little different.
2-1 on Lucroy.
And you watch out here. Could have some action.
Piscotti, the runner at first base, and now a 2-1 count. We'll see if anything's brewing here with Lucroy up there.
Now, I was watching Beaumont from up here. He gave a sign to Matt Williams when nobody was looking, and Matt Williams answered with the belt. So
Hit and run?
I'd say it's the next pitch.
Fly ball in the air towards shallow left center field. Martin will get there for the out. 2 gone. Hey, purchase select seats to any Tigers home game from now until July 31st. You'll be entered to win a Cabrera and Fulmer autograph memorabilia, summer fantasy camp, dinner in the Champions Club, and more. Bringing you the summer sweepstakes. To enter, go to tigers.com/sweepstakes. Restrictions do apply, but some great stuff for you to enter the win there.
I am reviewing the instant replay reviewable, non-reviewable. I believe that trap play or a foul tip is not reviewable. So that's probably the explanation Will Little gave Gardy. Looked like he caught it though.
Yep, it did. But it was all immaterial. The very next pitch, he struck him out looking. Barreto, the batter, with 2 outs. There's a strike at the knees. 1-1. Barreto fly to right field. That was in the 3rd. Tigers have a 1-0 lead here in the 5th. Did he go? Did not, said Ted Barrett.
Boy, that was close. I thought he did from up here. Continues to go with the slider. Lots of them. Got the side view here. No, it kept the bat head behind.
Here's the 2-1. On the ground and through, a base hit to left field. That'll chase the runner Biscotti to second. 2 on, 2 outs now.
Simo, when you were a veteran guy and a new pitcher came up, we're talking to Casey Mize, a guy who's pitched in college and he's going to go down into the pros. I don't know what his schedule is going to be. I would imagine they're going to control his innings this year, maybe get him in late if one of the teams get into the playoffs. What would you do as a hitter with a young pitcher, Simo?
Well, I'd be aggressive on the fastball. I would hope that he was a little erratic and that he would fall in love with his fastball, trying to get back into the count and try to jump one of those first pitch fastballs.
Yeah, he's trying to get ahead in the count when guys are probably not as inclined to throw the secondary pitches until they gain the confidence to do so after they've been in the league for a while.
Here is Dustin Fowler. Simo, from an adjustments standpoint, when you've got a young guy like Casey Mize coming in, obviously he's going to have to live up to the hype too, and that's something he's always going to have to deal with. What other adjustments do you see?
Well, there's no doubt the hitters are better. I know he played in the SEC, which is a very difficult, tough conference, but you have to. He's going to have to locate his pitches better. He probably got away with a lot more mistakes that he was able to make. In the minor leagues, you get away with a few, but he's not going to get away with those here at the major league level.
He's going to be buying some dinners too.
Yes, he is.
Shep, you in on this conversation?
Well, remember what his strikeout to walk ratio was in college.
Ridiculous.
Okay? I mean, it is off the charts. It's never been seen before. I did talk with Justin Henry, the area scout, who saw just about every game he pitched, and I talked with Scott Pleiss, what made this guy different. You guys know this. If you're #1 overall in any sport, there's got to be something to differentiate you, not just physically, but mentally, and that's what they talk about. And you guys had a really good appreciation for it while you were talking with him in the booth. Great interview over the full 4th inning. But he's a different cat, man. I mean, he's really, really confident. He bounces back quickly. He accepts teaching. They love that part about it, sitting down, talking with him, the whole package, not just what he does physically, but what he brings to the Tigers organization mentally.
Yeah, I'm with that, and the one thing that impressed me the most was the fact that he would tell himself every day when he walked down the field the things that he was better at than other people. And whether it's convincing yourself or reaffirming yourself, a big part of his success. 2-0 is the count, and a strike call. 2-1 on Fowler. Tigers have used a couple of mound visits here in the 5th inning. A's threatening to tie. It's 1-0 Tigers.
That's called an MVR, by the way.
Mound visits remaining. Good pitch, outer edge, 2-2.
78 pitches for Zim right now, 48 strikes, 30 balls, and we'll get you the breakdown on the fastball sliders. Quite a few of the slide pieces today.
Little looper in the air to center field, and Martin runs over to get it to end the inning. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. Jose Iglesias and Leonis Martin took place in a very special ceremony during pregame today. We'll tell you all about it when we come back. Afternoon, 1-0 in favor of the Tigers. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Edwin Jackson back out there. Jordan Zimmerman able to pitch out of a little bit of a mini jam in the 5th. First one darts in there for a strike on Iglesias.
Yeah, I thought it was very smart the way the Tigers went out there. Chris Bosio followed the catcher, give him a breather. That was an inning that was very important right there in the game. And they utilized that to get things and keep things under control.
Leadoff single here in the 5th inning. We check back in with Matt Shepard.
Who's got that guy and pick the stick?
You
That would be
Was
me.
it you?
Yeah. A big reason I took him too is because of the emotional day for Jose Iglesias and Leonis Martin. Today, with a number of other people, little red, white, and blue flags in their hands and celebrating that they are indeed U.S. citizens. Guys, oftentimes we have a tendency to take things for granted, maybe the freedoms in our country. If I ever do that, and I don't think I do, but if I ever do, I'm going to remember this day with Iglesias and Martin and what they told me before the game, the pride they had in their voice, the look in their eyes, and the dream come true to now be American citizens. Hell of a ceremony earlier today for the Tigers. Of course, not the first time it's happened. Remember, 2008, Placido Polanco did it. In 2017, Anibal Sanchez, although his was in Miami, still the impact is great, guys.
Well, you could hear the emotion in the voice of Leonis Martin when he was being interviewed before the game today in the locker room. And yeah, you're right. I think sometimes we do take it for granted, Shep. But great to see Mr. Martin and Iglesias now officially U.S. citizens. Dixon Machado is up there now with the leadoff single by Iglesias. Jackson now has surrendered a total of 4 hits. Machado struck out in the 3rd. Showing bunt. Knocked one right back to the mound. Only one play, and Jackson throws him out.
Guys, it looks like Jordan Zimmerman might be done. Got a chance to watch Bosio come over, the pitching coach come and talk to him, shake his hand. Gardy came and shook his hand as well. And he did a good job of getting out of that 5th inning, that top of the 5th inning jam there. And I really think, guys, they were wanting to leave on a positive note. And I thought today was a step in the right direction for Jordan Zimmerman. Pounded the strike zone, good quality fastball to both sides, had some good life on that particular pitch. And then the slider. The slider was a plus pitch for him today.
Yeah, 78 pitches or so. Did good, 5 innings, no runs.
I mean, I know we'd like to see him pitch deeper. We continue to talk about that, you know, pitching deeper into the ball game. But I think also it's important for these guys to feel good about their pitching performance. And if 5 innings is good enough for today, then I'm okay with it.
Well, the one thing that we have noticed is the Tigers have had to go deep to the bullpen a lot more times than maybe normal. We saw Blaine Hardy in a recent start be taken out after 85 pitches. Probably could have gone another inning. We've seen it with Boyd. Now we're seeing it today with Zim. But there's no doubt he will have a good feeling about 5 scoreless today for the Tigers.
Well, it is something he can build off of.
Swing and a miss. Yeah, it's only his 2nd start off the disabled list. And another building block for Zim. We talked about the fact that he was really good through 3 innings, and then the 4th inning or so in his last start, he gave up the 4 runs.
Yeah, 74 pitches in his last start. I think overall, though, the reason you need depth is for your bullpen. You know, that Cincinnati series, they didn't get much depth out of their rotations, and then the bullpen loses some of their bullets for that Cleveland series and kind of has a carryover effect. But you just hope he comes out, he's healthy, and we continue to build on what he's done here today.
Martinez 0 for 2. Jackson taking too long, so Leonis steps out.
Here's our Xfinity high-speed pitch. 93 so far. 80 the low.
Now Jackson with the 0-2. Down the left field line and foul on the charge. Lowry will run out of room.
Good time for a homer or a gapper.
Seawall, what did you see? I know you watched from the studio on the recent road trip. The Tigers really struggled offensively against both really Cincinnati and Cleveland, and they've kind of struggled a bit offensively here today. Is this something that just goes with the territory in June?
Well, I don't necessarily know if it's just in June, but it just seems like throughout a Major League season, you do see offenses go through these kind of lows. And then right now the Tigers are in a low. They're still doing the work behind the scenes. I see them in the batting cage working on their swing. Lauren McClendon, you know, talking to these guys. I was around the batting cage today, and it doesn't appear to me, Mario, that the swings are getting big. I do feel like they chased some pitches out of the strike zone, especially in that Cleveland series. And I also thought they were overthinking it. They were taking good pitches and swinging at the bad ones. And that happens when, again, when you're in the batter's box thinking too much.
Yeah, trying
too hard.
Outside 2-2 on Martin. Well, the Tigers on that road trip hit 222 as a ball club, and in the Cleveland series just 168. Now, they did have some chances early in games 1 and 2 against Cleveland and left a couple of their starters off the hook. But by and large, still trying to get that consistency back. And quite honestly, we've seen more of it at home than on the road. Now Martin steps out again.
Well, if you look at the Tigers splits at home and road with runners in scoring position, 232 actually overall it is. The A's are 261, and Leonis can't get the job done right here, and he's went down in strikes. It's frustrating as a hitter, like Simo was talking about how you try too much, you just want to do the job, and Edwin Jackson puts a really good slider on and goes straight down right over top.
Definitely a quality pitch there, but again, give me that 2 outs. I mean, with the runner in scoring position, the pitchers seem to go to their secondary pitches, and that pitch is out of the zone, but I know out of his hand it started out as a strike.
Yep.
So, and I get it that the bottom falls out of it, but you really want to try to get a good pitch to hit in those situations with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, I think you want to go a little further and think about getting him earlier. Than you get 2 strikes, you're kind of at a huge deficit in trying to be successful, so you don't want to miss those if they make that mistake in the first 2 opportunities. And when you get 2 strikes, you got to just battle.
Oh. Nico turned on that one, but yanked it foul.
I'm looking for Nico to have a big day today. The first 2 at bats he's punched out. He's my pick to stick.
-2.
This would be nice. A knock and a ribby gets me back to even.
It's right there to point out it's a -2 so far.
Yeah, you see that dig right there. Ugh.
I'm minus.
Boys are struggling a little bit lately.
Goodrum fan in the first and third. That'll dart low, and the count goes 2-1.
This pick to stick. I just looked at my scorebook. Instead of putting a K in there, I put a -1.
Well, this game is taking over everything.
Oh, I absolutely love it. I get fired up about this game, guys.
Well, when you sit next to Keating every day.
Oh, I know.
Keating hasn't been here in a while, has he?
Not here. There's swinging a miss.
Because I seem to go backwards regardless when Keating's around. I'm just saying, okay?
We all go backwards when Keating's around.
Well, I've got Mickey York with me today, so hopefully I was hoping that my luck would change, but it hasn't yet.
Big knock right here is going to get you right back at it, Simo. Little gapper here to score a run. 2-2. Pulled foul again.
Get off me. That slider just chased him. Actually, there's a heater in the inside part.
Guys, I'm noticing more pitchers are doing that to Goodrum. They're also doing it to Candelario. They're really starting to pound these guys inside. And the reason I believe they are is because these guys are really good with that ball away from them, driving it the opposite way. So now it seems like they're trying to crowd them with good fastballs on the inner half.
Get a lot of ground balls, and it sets up your other pitches for later when you pound a guy in.
Sit ball.
In the air to right field, sinking and caught on a slide out there by Piscotti. Simo tried to get it to sit, but it wouldn't. And that's a fine play to end the inning and save a run for Edwin Jackson. Steve Piscotty stretching out. Still a 1-0 game.
Our belt tire pitch by pitch. Jordan Zimmerman, 5 innings complete now. Really had good command, especially with the breaking stuff. The slider really good. He had a couple change up there. 2 seams on the fastball and really hitting the corners. 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, no runs, walked 1 and struck out 3. So 79 pitch effort, very good from Jordan Zimmerman. And we have a new pitcher. Say wall side windows pitching change. Mr. Wilson, Alex Wilson, 25th game, 20 strikeouts, 8 walks. Opponent's only hitting .227 off of it.
So the Tigers will need 4 innings out of the bullpen here today. They lead 1-0. They got a run.
So
in the 4th.
Got to figure they got Greeny, Joe.
That leaves 2 innings.
And go, that's 2 in A. Willie for 2. I don't know if he'd want to use him. Will he go to Coleman?
That's what I was thinking, Gibby. Coleman.
Depends on who's coming up. If there's righties, I think he'd be more apt to use Coleman in that situation than Joyce or Olson.
Strikeout, flyout for Joyce. 1-2 on the former Tiger. Came off the DL on Friday.
Had a tough season so far. He had a good season last year.
Sure did. .25 home runs last year for Joyce, who signed a 2-year deal prior to last season. Now the 2-2. 3-2 now on Matt Joyce.
It's one of the things you hope your pitcher, when you get 2 strikes on a hitter early, is you can put him away quicker. Instead of going to the 3-2. That's where we're at.
Right back up the middle into center field. Joyce, a solid base hit. Hey, tomorrow the World Cup continues on Fox at FS1 with a full slate of matches. It all kicks off at 9 Eastern with France taking on Denmark, and then later Messi and Argentina face off against Nigeria. World Cup on Fox and FS1, or stream it all live on the Fox Sports app.
Been watching some of that?
I have. I've been peeking in and out.
Seems
Tremendous
like
tournament.
they should put a diving rule in that game.
Oh. Yes, they should.
Huh?
I love when they come out with the magic spray. You know, when the guy goes down.
Yeah.
They spray his
They used to
ankle.
use that in this game. I think they outlawed it.
Bill Beam used to come out with that stuff, didn't he?
Beamer and the big silver canister. They freeze it. It'll feel better.
Did it? 2-0.
It was fun anyway. Yeah, it got your mind off it. It's like when they put that red hot stuff on your, say your elbow sore or something. Yeah, your elbow where the ligament was doesn't hurt, but the burning sensation from the red hot, we used to have that with capsule in it. Boy, that was hot.
2-0 is a strike.
Some call it icy hot, but I don't think they make it. We used to custom make it. Bill Beam and Pio DeSalvo used to custom make it. They made it a little hotter.
Lowry up there after the leadoff single, 2-1 count. Rolled foul, now 2-2. Well, the Tigers are going to have to find a way to win on the road. Obviously, they lost the last 5 on that road trip on the road, but Simo, they've been a team that has been good at home, but if they want to stay in the race here, they're going to have to find a way to win some more road games, especially going into the All-Star break.
Well, you definitely like to see them play better on the road. But
this might be a double play ball. Chop to third, Goodrum to second, 1 relay, not in time.
Yeah, Nico had to take a back step there, and but he still got it there with a nice accurate throw. Good feed to Dixon. Almost had him. It's a quick read there, Simo. You're right down there. You get a good look. You don't. That's a little more topspin on that pitch.
yeah, it did, and he had to take the step back, as you said, but he still was able to get rid of the ball quick. Lowry runs pretty good though, especially from the left side. He got down the line pretty quick.
Here's Chris Davis. Right back up the middle on the line and caught by Iglesias. 2 gone.
Looked like Iggy was thinking about dropping that ball for the double play.
2 outs now for Matt Olson. Olson a walk and a fly ball. Popped him up. Hicks yelling for it. And that'll end the inning.
Got it.
Thanks, Simo. We'll see you on postgame.
All right, thanks, fellas.
presents Hats Off for Heroes, because no matter where you serve or when you served, we stand ready to serve all military families.
Tigers trying to add to their lead as we go to the bottom of the 6th. First of a 4-game series against the A's. Castellanos, Martinez, Hicks. Nick had a double. That let out the 4th and eventually scored on the single by Hicks. We'll see if this trio can get it done again against Jackson, who delivers ball 1. Only 4 Tigers hits in this game, but they strung together a couple of them in the 4th to drive in a run. The 1-0. I mentioned Jackson is the 12th starting pitcher used this year by the Athletics. They've had some injuries. The year Jackson threw his no-hitter, there were 6 no-hitters that year in 2010.
That's a lot. Doesn't usually happen.
Halladay had 2 that year, including 1 in the postseason. Matt Garza threw a no-hitter for the Rays against the Tigers that year. Souvenir, way to go. Two and 1 on Castellanos. Ball high, 3-1.
Need to get somebody on here, and if Castellanos should get on, you might want to think about moving him with Victor. You get into a later count, 2-2, 3-1, or 3-2.
Full count on 3-2.
Stay out of the double play. Put some pressure on this Oakland team.
Jackson in his career has had an issue every now and then with walks. He's about 3.5 walks per 9 in his major league career. He's been as high as 4 per 9. And he had 8 walks in his no-hitter. Now the 3-2. Rolled to third, foul. Castellanos came in with 92 hits. He now has 93, good for 5th in the American League. 24 doubles on the year already.
Came in today at 303. He was hot there for a while, and maybe he's leveled off a little bit, but Nick played a lot of games.
And he got him strike 3. Castellanos caught looking, thought it might have been a skosh shy, but not so. 7 strikeouts for Jackson.
He's got that slider working.
Tigers host the A's tomorrow through Thursday. Enjoy great savings with the weekday value pack for tickets, hot dogs, chips, and sodas for as little as $20 per person. For tickets, go to tigers.com/value. Victor Martinez advanced the runner with a ground out in the 4th.
.48 strikes out of the 70 for Edwin.
Jackson was in the national system, and he opted out of his contract on June 1st and then signed a minor league deal with the A's on June the 6th. 3 minor league starts, and here he is back in the big leagues.
Tell you, he's got great resolve to be a big leaguer for that long and then go to the minor leagues. He's willing to do it, loves to pitch. Back in the bigs now. You see a lot of the Tigers taking that. It's kind of a backdoor slider. It looks like it's going to be a ball off the outside part of the plate to the hitter, and then it just breaks right over the middle, especially in behind counts.
shot to center field, just out of the reach. And a base hit. Victor down with 2 knocks on the day. Well, we're going back to college now with Nissan, and here are some of the Tigers that have played some big-time college programs. Of course, McCann and Boyd are going to duel it out in the College World Series. Arkansas and Oregon State. For each of those 2 players, John Hicks and Artie Lewicki went to Virginia. These are the Tigers in the active roster who have played in the College World Series and their teams. LSU.
That's gotten big. Did I see where the Tigers are going to play next year before the World Series?
They are with the Royals. They're playing a game at in Omaha. That'll be neat to be part of. But I think you're right. Over the really past decade, Gibby, that College World Series event has become bigger and bigger and bigger.
Well, they put a new stadium in down there, didn't they?
They did.
Years ago, not too long ago, a couple of years ago.
Yeah, they used to play at Rosenblatt Stadium. Now the 1-0. Pulled on the ground right through Lowry down the left field line. Coming to third base is Martinez. They will stop him there, and Hicks goes to second. And that ball just gobbled up Lowry.
Tell you, that ball was hit so hard that Jed Lowry could do nothing but to keep it off his shoe tops. Victor Martinez is about as fast as I've seen him run. He run really good. Watch this. He tries to back up. Tow truck down into the left field corner. It's going to be a base hit. Hicks on to second. Victor aggressively on to third.
I'm with you. I had to do a double take on my score sheet to make sure that was Victor. He was motoring.
He really was digging. That's as fast as he's run in a while. He got himself underway. Oakland's going to bring the infield in.
A double for Hicks. Second and third, 1 out now for Jacoby Jones.
Now Jacoby could sit dead curveball slider right here in this at bat. He's going to get one. Now it's easy for me to say. Be fair. He throws a fastball right down the middle. So what? I would sit breaker.
Popped it up second base side and caught there by Barreto. 2 gone.
Yeah, he knows he swinged at a poor pitch, but those are the kind of situations where you take your knowledge from your first couple at bats. That was just me, but like I said, I'm sitting up here. It's easy. You think differently when you're down there. Be fair to him. Tigers are looking at Grayson Greiner now with 2 outs, second and third.
Greiner strike out and a pop up. Strike 1.
They got him on a slider last time, and they were ahead in the count.
Tigers struggled mightily in that series in Cleveland with runners in scoring position. Today they are 1 for 8. Greiner can extend the lead with a base hit.
He's running that fastball in. The sliders are usually away.
Ran that one in on his hands. 1 and 2. Jackson about to throw his 80th pitch. Bouncing ball to short. Simeon scoots over and Greiner is out to end the threat. No runs, single, double, 2 left. On to the 7th we go.
Game summary. Tigers are up 1-0 in the fourth. Nick Castellanos with the double. Gets moved over by V. Martin, and then John Hicks, RBI single. Put the Tigers up 1-0. And then on the other side, Jordan Zimmerman with a 5-inning performance, 79 pitches. Had the good slider today. 4 hits, a walk, and 3 Ks. And they've turned it over to Alex Wilson. And now we have another wall side windows pitching change. Here's Edwin Jackson right there. Luis Coleman coming in. This is his 19th game. ERA at 2.18. He's throwing the ball very well. Opponent's only hitting 183 off him.
Stephen Piscotty will lead it off, and he'll take one low and away. Did not go. So Wilson gives them a scoreless 6th. Got the rest of this one mapped out with Jimenez in the 8th and Green in the 9th. It's up to Coleman now. It's become a pretty good option late in games. And that ball hammered to left. Well, it's going to stay fair and gone. That's going to tie it up. Piscotty hits his 7th home run. That's what the A's do. And now 26 straight road games with a homer. They keep adding to their record.
See what we're talking about right here. Coleman comes from down low. I believe this is a breaking ball. No, looked like a 2-seamer. Yep, just ran inside on him. Piscotty all over it. Game is tied at 1.
Here's Marcus Semien. Strikeout and a pop-up.
Well, I was talking a couple innings ago that they bring Coleman in against righties. Piscotty, Semien, and LaCroix all righties, so it was set up for him. 2-1.
Well, the A's now are 5th in the American League with 105 home runs. Yankees, Cleveland, Boston, LA, your top 4, and then Oakland. The 2-1.
Six pitches, 4 balls, having trouble locating so far for Coleman.
In the air toward right, fairly deep playable though. Castellanos back to make the play, 1 gone.
Well, let's take a look at the home run. Big Lever's got his hands back, hands stay high. And that ball just ran up and in. Statcast, 105.7 miles an hour, launch angle of 23 degrees, 375 feet.
Now LaCroix. Base hit in the 3rd, flying out in the 5th. Line drive over the head of the shortstop Iglesias into left. LaCroix with his 2nd hit, a single with 1 out here in the 7th.
The one thing I've noticed about Coleman, all of his pitches, they're all down. You notice that? I haven't seen any changing of the eye level at all. Might be something that could help. You get a sinker baller like that, sometimes you just kind of look down and out over the plate.
Boz and Gardenhire looking over the information. Looks like the Tigers will call the bullpen again here.
Well, Coleman's 1 pitch away from a double play, be out of the inning.
Tigers pen will start to stir. And Barreto takes a ball low and away, 2-0. Coleman threw a scoreless inning in Cleveland a couple of days ago. May 12th, Tigers selected his contract from AAA Toledo. On the outer edge, 2-1. Well, Joe's warming up here in the 7th.
Yeah, they're going to go and try and stay out of a deficit here, even if it is through 6 in the 3rd inning so far.
Barreto takes it low and away, 3-1. The injury to Chapman has had the A's switch things around a bit. They've got Barreto playing second. Lowry has moved to third, waiting for the return of their third baseman.
Wanted to see him play. I've heard so much about him.
Yeah, there's some thought he would play in this series, but they backed him off. 3-1, darts in for a strike, 3-2.
Wouldn't be surprised if runner is on the move.
One game. The home run by Piscotti tying the ball game up. Runner holding and a wise choice. Swing and a miss. Barreto's out of there. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Bell Tire. For tires and auto service, everybody needs a Bell Tire guy. And by Chevrolet, the most awarded and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall. Two away now, and here is Fowler. He'll sky one in the air to shallow center field. Long run. Martin can't get there, and it drops in.
Get it in.
Somebody rushed the ball in. To third base goes Lucroy. It fell between 3 defenders, and now the A's have second and third.
Yeah, this is a ball just kind of, I don't know if somebody didn't get a good jump, but a little lack of communication there. If you're the outfielder, you want to try and make a call early so you can run through it. He's saying, I got it, I got it, I got it. And Machado, if you're the other player that's center fielder has priority, you want to try and veer off. Got to talk. I think they may bring Joe in right here. Gonna go for the strikeout.
Matt Joyce due up, and here is Gardenhire coming out to make that change. So they want Jimenez here in the 7th inning with runners at second and third. Yardy's going to bring in his best weapon out of the bullpen. A bloop double off the bat of Dustin Fowler, and the Tigers go to the pen. We'll be back.
7. Here's our 1-800 call Sam call of the game. Joe Jimenez has been great. 9 scoreless innings with 13 strikeouts. Only 3 hits allowed this month. That's why Gardy has brought him in right now. He didn't want to do it, but he's got to get out of this inning. Here's our Walt Side Windows pitching change. Joe Jimenez. ERA, look at there. Let's keep it that way. 2 walks, 28 strikeouts. Great ratio. He's really having a good year so far.
Those numbers over his last 20 games. Now he's got 2 men on here with 2 outs, and a breaking ball dives in against Matt Joyce.
You know, his slider's improved a lot, but his miss rate has really improved on the fastball. 367 batting average last year against Joe, only 159 this year. So great improvement. A lot of that it probably attributed to the use of the slider.
1 ball and 1 strike. I think he might have more movement on the fastball, or just better location.
I think he's locating that better, but I think the slider's good. So they have to, you know, last year he didn't have much command of the slider. So you could kind of sit heater.
2-1 on Joyce. This is exactly what they envisioned for Joe Jimenez, a late inning guy to get big outs. He has done it all season long, trying to pick up Coleman, who allowed the homer, the single, and the double, albeit a bloop double. Way inside, and now 3-1 on Joyce. Jed Lowry waiting on deck.
Matt Joyce hitting .037 with runners in scoring position. Jed Lowry, who's on deck, .328.
Don't want to walk him. Swing and a miss. .96 from Jimenez. Joyce did a screamer off Wilson in his last at bat, a line drive to center for his only hit. He walked him. Ball 4. Now you got to deal with Lowry.
Well, he's a veteran guy. Switch hitter. Better from the right against the righties. 286 versus 271 against the lefties.
Lowry is 0 for 3. Ball 1.
Tigers pitchers have been behind in this inning. Makes it tough. Hitters gain an advantage knowing that.
Lowry .333 career against Detroit. Here's ball 2, and now it's getting a little bit more snug for Jimenez.
Heard some oohs and some ahs in the crowd right there. This is when, as a player, you know, as a pitcher right now, Joe, he knows he's got to throw a strike here. Pressure can get to any player in this situation.
Way outside, 3-0 now. The count on Lowry.
Is that 7 straight?
Yep, 7 straight.
What do you do if you're a catcher? Do you go out and you talk to him? Do you change your target? Do you move? He's been missing arm side high. Do you move over so he corrects?
He'll take it's a strike.
And right now it's going to be straight heater city. Not going to get tricky. Maybe 3-2. These hitters tend to be very aggressive in that situation.
High fly ball center field, should get him out of the jam. And it will. Martin hauls it in. The A's settle for one to tie it up, but they leave him loaded. And coming up, the Consumers Energy 7th inning stretch. The bottom of the 7th. Here's Chevrolet's most dependable player, Jose Iglesias, as we look at his progression throughout the early part of the season. From April to May to June, numbers have been much better.
Yep, started at 223 in March and April. The OPS as well. And looking at the numbers, big improvement is on the breaking balls. Means he's staying back much better and getting some knocks. I don't think he had any hits early in the season at all off the secondary pitches.
Iglesias looks at a strike from Yusmeiro Petit in a wall side windows pitching change.
Good changeup. Sneaky fastball.
Iglesias rolls it foul. 0-2. Petit is 6th in the American League in innings pitched among relievers, over 43 innings this year.
Another guy I had in Arizona.
So you got a pretty good scouting report on him then.
He's crafty. He doesn't throw maybe 91, 92.
Line drive to left center, base hit. And Iglesias' big month of June continues.
Boyeki. Gets up on top of this pretty good. See him doesn't try and do too much, doesn't dip that back shoulder. Cleanly into left center field for a leadoff single.
Here is Dixon Machado. We'll see if he's up there to bunt.
Gotta believe he is.
Now Iglesias does have 12 stolen bases this year. He's on pace to steal 25. It's been his best year as far as stealing bags is concerned.
He can do it. He knows how to do it. He understands everything. It's just trusting it. And he does much better. Evans got a quick move. You got to watch it.
Fouled off. He did try and bunt, but he bunted it foul.
Talking to Gardy about some fundamentals of the game like bunting. Yeah, everybody thinks it's easy to bunt. Do you think it's easy?
Well, it looks easy until you try it against somebody that might be throwing mid-90s or a nasty slider or whatever.
And if you square around and it's God's shot, you're very vulnerable. but it should be, you know, you should be able to do it. I'm not making an excuse. It should be done.
Well, he popped up the bunt. That is not going to work. That ball was right where Petit wanted it, eye level, and he popped it up.
I haven't seen Dixon react like that. But he's frustrated. He cares. Trying to do. He knows he made a mistake there.
Martin due up.
See if he can pick him up. You're going to get a lefty, though.
It's going to be it for Petit. He will face two batters. They go back to the bullpen. We'll be back.
Comerica Park, Tigers and A's locked up in a 1-1 tie in the bottom of the 7th. Tigers with a man on, though, trying to break that tie here and maybe also do some damage in our little Ram Pick the Stick competition. Here's what we have so far. Obviously, when you only have one run on the board, not many points to be had, unless, of course, you're Mario Mpemba, who with the last pick today has found a way to do it yet again with John Hicks.
Well, I wish King
Curse you, Mpemba. Curse you.
What are the standings? We haven't.
Yeah, do we have the standings ready? Well, I know Mpemba's leading. That hasn't
barely,
changed.
Though,
he says that he's getting nibbled into, so we have to get those.
Yeah, so he needs today. I'll just take a point, though, before the day's over. I'd be happy with that.
And a win.
Ryan Buchter comes on now out of the bullpen for the A's.
11 strikeouts, 4 walks. Leonis is going to see some hooks.
Foul back 0-1. Saw Buchter last year in San Diego, then was traded to KC for the stretch run. The Royals were going for it. Appeared in 29 games out of the bullpen for KC, 42 for San Diego.
You know Iglesias wants to run. You're probably going to have to go first move if you go. Watch that back toe on the rubber, see if it comes up.
Oh, strike called, and Martin says no, no.
Ball's outside, isn't it?
And it looked low.
That's
yeah,
way
right.
off.
Outside.
The umpires get a little disc after the game, and they can review it if they'd like.
Now the 0-2 by Buchter. Everything away on Martin so far. Leone is 0 for 3.
Candy's getting loose there.
Jamer, the day off so far.
You want to watch this right here. And that lifts. Many times they're going to first. Little fake step off. Because these lefties, they lean back, so the toe comes off the rubber.
Half swing there by Martin, who fouled it back. 1-2.
Don't have my clock out to see the timing. He looks like pretty quick.
And Booker's got that slide step going too. Iglesias has been anchored at first base. Machado tried to bunt him up, but popped it up. Tigers got a run in the fourth on the RBI single by Hicks. And then the A's tied it up in the seventh on the home run by Stephen Piscotty. Another foul back by Martin. Nico Goodrum on deck. Jackson went 6 for the Athletics. A solid 6 innings in his debut in an A's uniform. Didn't offer at it. 2-2 now on Martin.
Just keep throwing those breaking pitches, trying to get him to the chase. Leonis missed one heater early. But you have to guard against the breaking pitch if you're Martin right now. Just hope you can foul that fastball off, or he leaves it over the plate, you get a base hit. Or a double or something else like that.
It'll chopper to first. It is a foul ball. Olsen tried to sneak one there down at first base line.
Looks like Leonis is limping around a little bit to me. I don't know what's going on there. You can see him adjusting the gloves when you get into an at bat like this. You kind of energy builds within your body. You know, you get hyped up. If you hit your bat on your cleats, the indentations in the bat get deeper as the bat go on. Now watch this. Now watch this toe right here. Watch this come up. Go ahead. See how it comes off right there? You probably didn't even see it, did you?
Barely.
Yeah, but watch it this time when he goes home. It's going to go right down into the rubber.
Fly ball center field. Hit pretty good on the move. Fowler still going. It's over his head and into the bushes, and that's going to cost the Tigers a run. A ground rule double off the bat of Martin, which easily would have scored Iglesias.
Jeez.
Some terrible luck right there.
Really was. Leonis really had a great at bat. Was it 9-10 pitches?
The Booker is going to face one batter, and he'll get the hook. Second and third, one out. Tigers with a scoring chance. We'll be back.
Leonis Martin with a great at bat. We're going to look at this. They bring the lefty and they face him all on the outside part of the plate. He gets a mistake middle third and hammers it. It easily will score Iglesias and into the bushes. The dreaded into the bushes. You can see Iglesias is on his way, easily would score the ground rule double. Look at, you can see Clarkie, and watch Leonis' reaction. It's a bad break.
Martin pounded that baseball to the center field wall, gets a ground rule double, and now the infield coming in. Trevino is on for the A's. Nico Goodrum trying to give the Tigers the lead against the drawn-in infield. Nico looks at a strike right at the belt.
That was interesting. Bob Melvin had the lefty. We could have turned him around, but chose not to. Came with the righty, Trevino.
Trevino has an opponent's batting average of 120 with men in scoring position this year. So he's been able to pitch out of these jams. Swing and a miss, now 0-2.
99, some heat there. Whew.
Wow.
Oakland's got a bullpen full of them. Some big boys that bring the velocity.
Outside, 1-2. Trevino in the big leagues for the first time was an A's 11th round pick back in 2013.
Do you think if they get out of here, you think they'll pitch to Nick?
Got first base open. They would be very careful, I would assume. Little chopper caught by the third baseman coming home. Tag is made for the outs. Lowry came in and they got the runner at home.
Yeah, I think if Iggy could have maybe did a layout slide to the inside, it'd been an only chance. But it's a hard one there because as a runner you don't really know where you're going because you have nobody there to help you. Definitely got him.
Well, you still have a base open here. It just happens to be second base. Castellanos has been the Tigers' best RBI man, 41 driven in. He had a double and scored a run in the fourth. Martin at first and Goodrum at, or third rather, Goodrum at first.
He's got that hole over there on the infield between first and second.
Grounded foul, 0-1. Would, as the manager, you be more apt to walk Castellanos here if first base was open, or would it not matter to you?
Probably would consider it. I mean, it all depends on how your statistical team has figured this. He has a sheet of paper that rates the matchup, either Castellanos or Vimart.
Inside, 1-1 on Nick.
364 with runners in scoring position on base this season. Not in scoring position. That's third best in the AL. Gonna have to let go of that one on the inside. That's gonna be hard to get to. Out over the plate, right between first and second. It would be nice.
Fly ball, right field, hit well. Back to the track, back to the wall. It's gone! Nick Castellanos, an opposite field home run to give the Tigers the lead. Well, they probably don't like that matchup as much anymore.
No. Well, it didn't work out, but they had first and third. It's the importance of Nico really putting the ball in play as opposed to a strikeout. And Nick has done it again.
And here is Victor Martinez. It is 4-1 Tigers. Big swing by Vimar.
That was a slider. 95.
Yikes. Number 10 for Castellanos, a 3-run shot.
Hey, that's impressive to go to right field on a fastball like that, middle third in.
0-2.
Boy, that is a hard slider.
Two out of three for Martinez today. It's going to be strike three, rolled to the backstop. Martinez is going to beat it out. Victor was headed back to the bench, didn't know it got by the catcher, but still was able to beat it.
Well, Victor's really motoring today. Look at it, swings at it, but it gets by LaCroix, and look, Victor, he's high stepping it today. Takes his time, doesn't see it going to the backstop. Nick loves it, and he went first to third earlier on a base hit. So he's getting his run in today. Hit the cold tub after Vimar.
Victor Reyes has come on a pinch run now as Hicks stands in. Hicks a double, a single, a sack, and an RBI. Way inside, they'll get away and roll to the Tiger bench area. Moving to second now is Reyes.
Gonna get a visit.
Wild pitch.
Well, let's take a look. We were talking about Nick. I was just begging for a little single between first and second. And here's the side swing. This is a great view. Look how calm he is, and look how that back elbow comes in, and the elbow goes right into his pocket almost. He puts the barrel of the ball over the wall in right field.
How impressive is that?
That's a short swing.
The right-hander Casilla warming up.
So I've seen a few of his sliders in today.
The 1-0. He's tied it up on the home run by Piscotti. The Tigers have gone ahead of the home run by Castellanos. One and two.
That is a hard slider. We've seen it 93 to 95. Fastball 97 to 99. You can hear it hit the catcher's glove.
In the air towards center field and caught on a dive out there by Fowler. What a play by Dustin Fowler to save a run. This is a dynamite catch out in center by Fowler. Tigers have taken the lead though on a big home run by Nicholas Castellanos, number 10 on the year. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. The top of the 8th inning here at the ballpark. Mario and Gibby back here at Comerica Park. The Tigers on this last road trip, Gibby, were just begging for a big hit. They finally got one from Nicholas Castellanos.
They really did, and if you look at the moves that were made that last inning right there, Bob Melvin got bit by Nick, and Gardy made the move to bring in Joe Jimenez and got out of the inning. So far it's worked good for the Tigers. Tigers have a 4-1 lead. However, we have a hit batsman here to start the 8th.
So Davis hit by the pitch, and the Tigers got really 5 strong innings out of Jordan Zimmerman. I think they're starting to see now the last 2 starts off the DL that he's starting to round into shape a little
bit.
Yeah,
I think so, and just much more comfortable on the mound, it looks like, and you see it by the location. Saw a lot of pitches up and away being asked for, just missing when he was missing, and able to put it there when he wanted it there. So good building block. Let's hope he comes out of it healthy, and he can go a little deeper next time out.
Leadoff man on here for the Athletics. Matt Olson steps in now. Jimenez came on in the 7th, walked a batter, went 3-0 the next batter, but got the fly ball out. Joe's not been crisp here today, but he's gotten the job done so far.
Tell you what, he smoked Chris Davis. Smoked him. He hit him hard. Not that he was trying to, but fastball inside, got him.
Two and one on Olson. Walk, fly ball, and a pop-up for the A's first baseman. Outside again, now 3-1.
Just about everything's been arm side and high that he's been missing.
"16 pitches for Jimenez, 11 balls. Fouled away. Piscotty will be next as you look at the A's box score.
And Jimenez is probably going to go fastball here. He's got a 3-run lead, so you can't walk him on a slider.
In the air, third base side. Goodrum has room. One away. The 2018 Camping World MLB All-Star Ballot is now open and exclusively online. Make sure your favorite Tigers are represented on this year's squad. Vote at tigers.com/vote. Catch all the excitement of the 89th Major League Baseball All-Star Game, presented by MasterCard, July 17th, and it's live on Fox.
Could be the representative right there.
He'd be the front runner for the Tigers. He's had quite a first half. And quite a day today. The 3-run homer to give the Tigers the lead.
Tell you another guy on the mound.
Ooh, how nasty was that?
Up there, is he still leading the league in appearances, innings? He's right up there in that. He's got very good numbers. The Tigers probably wouldn't want him to go to that. I mean, they would, but selfishly, you'd probably want him to get the rest for the All-Star break.
40th appearance for Jimenez, leads the league.
40th appearance with really good numbers.
You see the ratio, not all that good, but attacking Piscotty here with a 1-1 count. It'll dive low and away, 2-1. Gardy likes to use Jimenez exclusively in the 8th, but he had to pull him out of the bullpen in the 7th. With runners at 2nd and 3rd in a tie game, he walked Joyce but got Lowry to fly out. Drill down the left field line. That ball is going to get down and go to the corner. To third base comes Davis. He'll stop there. 2nd and 3rd down for the A's. What a day for Piscotty. Single double homer.
Looked like this ball up and in, and he just got off the end of the bat, pulls it down into the corner. Jacoby gets over there quickly. The A's down by 3. He almost slipped on those rocks down there, but you see the A's, they're not going to chance it being down by 3 runs. Just getting over there quick enough for Jacoby. Stop them from trying to do that.
So the tying run will be coming to the plate before the Tigers get a visit from Chris Basio.
Well, let's take a look at the 7th inning. We're going to give you a little recap here now that we're in the 8th inning. But the Tigers got into some trouble. Lewis Coleman came in. A's threatened. Had a little mishap here. Ball should have been caught. They brought in Joe. Went out to a 3-1 count. Walked. And then 3-1 again. And gets the final out of the inning from Jed Lowry. And now here we are again in the 8th. Can Joe do it again?
Semien looks at a ball low and away, 1-0. So Jimenez now dealing with the bottom of the A's lineup here. Semien, the 7th hitter.
If you look at the landscape here, so shadows are coming in. They have not hit his fastball really. Can't get his slider over.
High fly ball into shallow right center.
Third base.
It's going to be Castellanos to make the play. And the run will come in. Sac fly. RBI for Semien.
Good play right there. Threw the fastball. They didn't hit it. Got his out. And Nick behind the ball quickly to keep the A at second base. Piscotty.
4-2 ball game now with 2 outs. Jonathan Lucroy. Strike called.
A lot of pitches now. 25 for Joe. Want to get him out of here. Could be questionable for tomorrow, but you want to get this win today, of course.
Shane Green, the Tigers closer in the bullpen. There's a ball outside, 1-1.
Probably is getting to be his last hitter. Now, if you're in the National League, you have to worry about if you put a guy in, you want, like they would want Greeny to come in and go 1+. National League, when you got the pitcher to hit, you'd have to probably do a double switch.
In there, a strike called. Each ball club with 9 hits. Tying run at the plate here in Lucroy. A little soft floater in the air to shallow left. Dan Jones will play it on a hop. That'll score a run. And now the A's are back to within 1. It's a 4-3 game.
Jam shot. But his 3rd hit of the day. See the ball coming in on him, eating him up, but he keeps his hands in. That's what he does. He's very good at it. That hurts. 4-3. Tiger lead.
Now Franklin Barreto. Single and 3 at bats for Barreto. Good slider there, 0-1.
Got to be his last hitter.
Only the 3rd time this year that Jimenez has allowed multiple earned runs in an outing. He went.
Well, I know Gardy's sitting there and he's wrestling with what he should do. Maybe he thought about taking him to last inning, but really it wasn't a ball that was hit hard. I got into a situation where my starter had for like 40 pitches in the 1st inning. You know, you don't want to leave him out there, but the bullpen was shot.
1-2. Well, also the Tigers came in with a 5-game losing streak, and so coming home for just 4 games, then hitting the road again, a very critical game for the Tigers to kind of right the ship.
Yeah, but it's uneasy. This is as far as you want to go with him right here.
The 1-2. Oh, 2-2.
Velocity is still 97 on the fastball. $17 balls, 15 strikes out of the 32.
Drilled toward left center field. That ball is going to get down and go all the way to the wall. This might tie the game up, and it will. It's a double for Barreto. It is a 3-run inning for the A's, and all of a sudden it is 4-4.
That kid's got some sock in his bat. You can just tell the way he flied out deep to right field, center field, and he gets one up the left center field gap.
Barreto's 2nd hit, his 10th RBI of the year, and that's going to be it for Jimenez. So this Oakland team fell behind by 3, did not give up. They've tied it up in a very rocky outing for Jimenez. Not something we're used to seeing.
Very scrappy team. They don't give in. You've watched them around the league and talk to Gardy about it, and it's happened again.
We'll be back. 4-4 game. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be. Come to Comerica. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows. We can do that. We are the factory. Well, once again, it's a brand new ball game. It is now 4-4. Joe Jimenez gives up 3 earned runs, which ties his season high. And now Shane Green coming in as Dustin Fowler steps in with a man at second. Strike called on Fowler.
Really only 1 run scored through the first 6 innings, and now we've had 7 in the next inning and 2/3. Things opening up here a little bit. Again, you got those shadows there in front. It's going to be tricky to see the spin if you're a hitter.
0-2.
Good slider right there.
Single and a double for Fowler. So Jimenez came on in the 7th, and now Green coming on here in the 8th. Each ball club with a 3-run frame. Got him, strike 3 in the inside corner. Fowler didn't like it, but he's out of there. That'll end the inning. Big inning though for the A's. They tie it up. Brand new ball game now, 4-4, bottom of the 8th coming up.
DTE Energy Know Your Own Power. Nicholas Castellanos in the 7th inning, a 3-run home run. Put the Tigers up 4-1. However, the A's have tied it with 3 of their own in the top of the 8th.
Jacoby Jones gets it rolling here in the bottom of the 8th. Jones, Griner, Iglesias. And a strike call. Trevino came on in the 7th inning and surrendered the home run.
Look at those shadows.
Starting to creep.
Kind of a strobe action if you watch the ball there live.
In and out of the sunlight.
Yep. You know, I don't know this for sure, but I believe others or some have an easier time with these conditions than others.
Right back up the middle on the backhand. Barreto throws him out. One away now, Grayson Griner. Griner is over 3, strikeout, ground out, pop up.
Did you hear that walk-up music?
Wasn't paying attention. What was it?
Is it Jimmy?
Oh, Jimi Hendrix, yeah.
You get new guys up here. We haven't done a lot of games. It's just interesting to.
Well, they pick. Yeah.
They pick.
Is it Purple Haze?
Could have been.
Off the end of the bat, foul. 0-2 on Griner. This one to be decided by the bullpens. The starters both did well today. Jackson for the A's and Zimmerman for the Tigers. They have long since departed. Good pitch and in there for a strike 3 call. Griner's out of there.
Late breaker there. Didn't break a lot, just enough to hit the top of the strike zone. Tigers have had 3 or 4 of those today where it looks like it's going to be high, but it just wrinkles at the end.
Second strikeout. Up and in on Iglesias.
Yeah, we hit Davis pretty hard. I don't know, but it could be a message. Don't do that again. I think Iglesias was thinking he was going to get hit there. Just see him move out.
It appeared he was anticipating that might happen. 2-0. That's in there, strike 2-1.
99 miles an hour, that's firm.
Trevino played his college ball at Slippery Rock. Here's the 2-1 pitch. 2-2. Well, the Tigers take on the A's again tomorrow night right here at Comerica Park. Join us beginning at 6 with Tigers Live on Fox Sports Detroit. 4-game series.
There's kind of a hanger right there. I think he got a piece, spoiled the pitch. Hey, Candy, he's getting loose.
Yeah, he is.
He would be ready maybe for Machado. Be my guess. Iggy gets on, especially if he's in scoring position.
In the air to left field. Not deep enough, though. They had Joyce backing up, but he'll come in to make the play in a 1-2-3 eighth inning. We go to the ninth. Still tied at 4.
New York back at Comerica Park for a 1-800-CALL-SAM update. A roller coaster of emotions here in the 7th and 8th innings. Tigers take the lead in the bottom of the 7th on the Nick Castellanos 3-run home run, only give it back in the top of the 8th. And just like Joe Jimenez was a little off.
Yes, he was a little bit off today, Mig, but this bullpen has been so good especially the back end of this bullpen. It was unfortunate, but the Tigers still have an opportunity to win. But I'll tell you what went wrong on the postgame show.
Well, it is in the hands of Shane Green and the Tigers bullpen now. We'll hear from him coming up after the game on Tigers Live. Nick Castellanos as well, and hopefully the hero from this afternoon's game for the Tigers as soon as this one goes final. Mario, Giddy.
All right, guys, thank you. It is the 9th inning now. It's going to be Joyce, Lowry, and Davis, 2, 3, and 4 facing Shane Green. 4 runs on 11 Athletics hits, 4 runs on 9 Tigers hits. And Joyce looks at a strike 0-2.
The A's made 1 error. Tigers had a miscommunication. However, they both got out of it. Did extend the innings, however.
And down goes Joyce.
Greeny's got a good slider today.
2 batters, 2 strikeouts.
That slider going straight down through that shadow. Look at light, dark, and it lights up at the end. Too late. You see that?
Yeah. Too late. Here's Lowry.
I can giggle about it because I'm not the guy swinging the bat.
Right. And Lowry looks at a strike on the outer edge. Nothing but strikes for Green out of the Tiger pen. That is the first ball that Green has thrown since coming on.
7 out of 8 strikes.
Blake Trinan, their closer, warming up.
Yeah, for the visiting closer, this is usually you don't put your closer until you got the lead. So if they don't take the lead, he generally doesn't come in, right? So he's got to warm up almost every inning. So if you go into extras, like we would be willing to do if we needed to do to win this game, it's a tough day for the opposing closer.
2-2 on Lowry. Lowry had a big at bat in the 7th inning. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and he fly to center field. The Tigers able to thwart the threat. Spoiled back to the screen.
He's had a pretty good year, Jed Lowry. He's been in several clubs. Switch hitter. Play many different positions, which is more and more valuable in today's game.
3-2 now. The slugging Chris Davis on deck.
Probably going to be a slider here.
In the air down the right field line. It's deep, and that ball is gone. It's out of here to give the A's the lead. Lowry down the right field line hits his 12th, and Oakland has a 5-4 lead.
If you look, it probably was a slider. Veteran guys, you got to really watch it. It's kind of down and in-ish. And Lowry puts a swing on it, and out it goes.
Number 12, RBI 51 for Jed Lowry. And the A's have their first lead of the day. They have battled back with all 5 of their runs in the last 3 innings. Davis skies one in the air to center, not deep. Martin makes the play, 2 gone.
Well, looking ahead over here, what do we got? We got Machado, the probably pinch hit for him. Up to the top, and Martin, then Nico, and Nicholas. Got 3 runs out of that the last time through, so let's do it again. Got to keep this within 1. Be ready to score a few when you get up to bat after that.
Matt Olson, the batter. He is 0 for 3 with a walk. Two and 0.
Good game to come back. Big night down here tonight, huh?
Fireworks.
A lot of these people probably taking it into the next entertainment activity.
That'll get back out of play, and the count now 2-2 on Matt Olson. Tigers still on the bench have Jamer Candelario and James McCann. That's it. Reyes came in to pinch run.
Reyes could be the hero. He's in the game for Victor. Sometimes you got to pre-write your story, right?
Yes, absolutely. Keep writing.
He'd be the 5th hitter.
Right.
2 on and 1 out.
And he walked him. 2-out walk for Olson.
Second walk for him on the day.
Piscotty's had a big day. Single, double, homer. And he'll bat now with 2 outs. Five runs on 12 hits for the A's. 4 runs, 9 hits for the Tigers. It'll dive in, strike 1.
Greeny up to 21 pitches.
Excuse me, swing 0-2 on Piscotty. The upcoming matchup presented by Wallside Windows. And here it is. It's going to be Frankie Montas and Blaine Hardy in game 2 tomorrow.
Oh, Montas, you can see, is 4-1. Blaine Hardy, really a surprise, 3-1. Pitched very well, and actually pitched so well, we went to a 6-man rotation, right?
That's right. Blaine Hardy, some thought might go to the bullpen when the Tigers got healthy with Liriano and Zim coming back, but at least through the All-Star break, Blaine will continue to throw in the rotation.
Remember last year, Blaine was used a lot out of the bullpen, and he got really tired, and I would have never believed that he would be as good as he was as a starter, but that's opportunity is given to people when somebody else gets hurt or goes on the DL or breaks down. You got to always be ready, and Blaine Hardy was and has done a great job, so he'll be on the mound tonight, tomorrow night for the Tigers.
Also an amazing story considering he was DFA'd at the end of spring training, got through waivers, went back down to Toledo, and here he is. 0-2 is in the air to shallow right field. The second baseman backing up. Machado hauls it in.
2 runs. Let's go.
We go to the bottom of the 9th. Gibby wants 2. He'll have to do it against the closer, Blake Trinan. we go to the bottom of the 9th inning, Candelario is going to hit for Dixon Machado. Then Martin, then Goodrum, and they will face the closer for the A's. The right-hander is Blake Trinan.
17 out of 19 save opportunities. Likes the fastball up to around 97. Slider as well, 89. And his nickname, you can figure this out, B-Low-K. What do you got on that?
B-Low-K?
I'm going to say Blake is B.
For the strikeout.
Low-K maybe for loco.
Oh. Okay.
Crazy Blake.
Ah, B-Low-K. All right, I'm getting it now. All right, Trinan going to work now here against Candelario. Trinan was a staple of the Washington bullpen. Jamer swings and misses 0-1.
That had a lot of movement on it for 99, I tell you. That ball really took off.
Martin, then Goodrum. It'll slide low and away. Couple of 100-mile-an-hour pitches for Blake Trinan. Little chopper back to the mound. Trinan will handle it. And Candy is out, one gone. Well, if somebody gets on, Castellanos will have another chance to hit.
I'm just seeing a lot of movement here, and this has got to be a two-seam grip. There you see it, and watch him turn his hand over and look at the movement.
Man. Rally cap. Here's Martin, doubled and scored in the 7th. Bunting down the first base line. Trinan can't make the play, and we've got ourselves a base runner.
Smart play. Good bunt here. Usually do this with lefties, but the other's using the speed, making the pitcher come over and try and make a great play. And maybe he doesn't hold runners well. That's even better for the Tigers.
Tying run is on now, and here is Nico Goodrum.
Got to try and go here somewhere.
Grounded foul, the count. Whistle down the first base line. Trinan has converted each of his last 14 save opportunities in that stretch. 2 runs in 22 and a third.
He's due to get raked.
Now the 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Goodrum scored ahead of the 3-run homer by Castellanos in the 7th. It gave the Tigers a 4-1 lead. A's tied it up with 3 in the 8th. One ahead with the home run in the 9th. Fouled away now, 1-2 on Goodrum.
Now I'm watching, and if you're Leonis, you're going to do the same thing. What moves first? I'm watching down in here. This seems to, he's got a little crease in that. And this will turn away. Last time he was the slowest. He may slide step now that he's up in the count. You just shut it down. Watch this right here. Everything you need to see. comes over to the base. Obviously, he's thrown it there. So that time he came that way. I'm looking for this to go that way. And he picked over after just about when he came set. So after he holds set, I don't think he could be as quick. Now if you go now with 2 strikes, you can run into a double play, so that's dangerous as well. You go earlier in the count and get your teammate to take a pitch. I know Leonis is thinking about it. It's got to be.
Batter in the shadows right now, the pitcher in the sunlight. High, ball 2.
How's that look, those shadows? I guess if you wanted to get out of the sun, you'd snuggle in one of those, but to hit a baseball, a little tricky. Actually, the actual area between the mound and the plate isn't that bad right now. If the wall of the center field was dark, that would be tough.
Swing and a miss, and Goodrum is out of there, 2 gone.
Now you got to ask yourself, do you want to go and leave? If you get thrown out, Nick's at the plate.
You almost have to let Nick hit here, don't you?
Well, if you know you can make it, I'd go, but you definitely can't get thrown out. Because you know why. We saw it in the 7th inning. 2 men on. And Nick went to right field, put the Tigers up 4-1. So you definitely cannot take the bat out of Nick's hand, and if you're the manager, you always have what we call a red light, a hold. So you let your runner know. If Reyes is behind Nick, so I don't think that they may walk Nick if they got behind in the count. Again, he'd be taking the bat out of his hand. I can't see him probably going.
Reyes pinch ran for Martinez a couple of innings ago, so that's why he's on deck. Here's Castellanos. Ball 1.
Like daring him, he went slow that time. Darren, serious.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they'd care if he went.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Well, with Reyes on deck, you know, Scott Emerson, their pitching coach, had to tell him, whatever you do,
don't let this guy beat you.
Do not let him beat you. Oh, right back to the mound and knocked down by Trinan, who will record the final out. A rocket off the bat of Nicholas Castellanos to end the game. He's won it. Now we send you to the Coliseum Studios. Mickey York, Craig Monroe standing by with Tigers Live postgame.
All right, Mario, thank you. Tough one to swallow today. Coming up on Tigers Live, we'll show you how the Tigers let this one get away. Could the Tigers have perhaps gotten more from starter Jordan Zimmerman today? We'll get his thoughts on that. Guardy on his bumpy bullpen, and we'll introduce you to #1 pick Casey Mize next on Tigers Live.